Hello, hello. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast, episode 234. We're talking about is being overweight a reason to get denied a Lyft ride, which has been going like super viral right now.
Good.
And then Uber CEO still sees an all EV future. An all EV future with no drivers. They didn't add that part in the title.
Exactly. But he says we have 10 years. That's
10 years. Yeah.
that's his estimate.
I didn't see an article in our chat about that. I just hadn't really seen it posted anywhere, but maybe. You're the story grabber.
I think Larry posted something.
Yeah.
Did you?
I can't remember if I posted it or I may have just heard on the radio or something.
Yeah, I've been the radio.
He was doing an interview.
I think you posted the link in the informational portion.
Oh,
Maybe.
I missed that. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Our new time, 7 o'clock. Go to gigeconomyshow.com for everything news related. Sign up for the newsletter. I want to thank our Patreon members, Samson, Bud, Steve, Omar, Delivery Cats, Frank, Jamie, Tom, Jim, Miguel, Linda, Jerry. Thank you guys so much. Jerry, your t-shirt went out on the mail Monday. You should have it by now. Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow, yeah.
I got it done. So if you want to join the Patreon and earn a t-shirt by being a $10 tier for 3 months, you can go to patreon.com/the Gig Econ Podcast. Gig Econ Podcast. Is it Gig Econ? Gig Econ Podcast, yeah. The $10 tier gets you ad-free episodes, a whole bunch of shit. So check it out. I realized that we're doing an extra one tonight. At least Larry and I are. And I forgot to schedule that. I've been playing season 2 Call of Duty. God damn it. Leave me alone.
You got to have priorities, right?
I know.
And plus, you've had to work every day this week.
I know.
I'm surprised you're awake early.
After 4 days in a row off last week and only having to work one day, like this sucks. This is
You got Call of Duty brain.
Yeah, exactly. Larry, can you tell us about the Telegram group where a lot of us chat and talk about gig work?
Yeah, Telegram, it's an app. It's a messaging app. You can text people back and forth, but you can also do voice messages, which is really great when you're out doing deliveries or you're driving passengers. Do it in between passengers, not while they're in the car, though. But you can send a voicemail or a voice message. Makes it really easy. But we have gig workers all over the country, all over the world that we chat back and forth and discuss what's hot, what's the hot gig going on right now, what's going downhill. Any bonuses or new features we see, things like that. But a lot of times we just talk about life, shoot the breeze, and it's a good way to stay in touch and not feel so lonely when you're out on the road.
Gabe, what was that app we used to use early on? It was like a walkie-talkie app, but what was it called? God damn it.
Oh.
But it would play you without hitting play, it would play. It was like almost like a live channel. I can't remember what it was called, but we used that for a while, and then WhatsApp and Telegram came around. But I can't remember what it was. But Gabe, you were in it. I know
it wasn't a Discord channel, was it?
No, that was before Discord.
It was like the app who made the version of what the hell was that phone?
The beep beep.
Yeah, the phone.
Nextel.
Yeah, the Nextel. It was like an app
push to talk
version. Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting, but yeah, Telegram's so much better. So.
Yeah, because you can do the video and the audio. And
yeah.
If you have a quick question, instead of like searching or posting it on Facebook forum and waiting for somebody in your area to respond, like somebody can answer right away. Like, Faith had a question today and I was like, oh, you do this.
Yeah, it's a good point. I never talk about the video aspect of it.
I do notice. Still, go ahead, Gabe.
Chapstick.
The chapstick videos.
Chapstick in the car wash.
only OGs know that. I have noticed a lot of the Facebook pages have created like groups. I don't know. I don't like that. I haven't joined any of them. It's just, like let's say you're in an Amazon Flex group.
Yeah.
And you can join a messenger chat in there. I don't know. I just
annoying.
I feel like Telegram's better. I mean, I mute our main chat. I don't have it send me notifications. Like I'll go in there and see them, but like I don't know, the Facebook message thing is kind of annoying. But
I have all of those muted.
Yeah.
I feel like every group on Facebook now does it.
Yes, and they offer it up to you too. Like even though you're not in it, they're like, "Hey, did you know that there's da 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 da?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did. Don't care."
Yeah. No thanks.
If you could go to TikTok and follow us, we are close. We're getting a couple more. Actually, I'll take a peek. Not as close as I want to be, but
Getting there.
where are we at? We're at, come on. Oh, 398. We just got another one. Hello.
All right, come on. Two people tonight.
People from 400. Let's go.
We're not going off the air until we get two more.
No, I don't know about that. Pretty hard and fast on that hour. So yeah, if you can go and follow us, that would be great. And then sign up for the newsletter too. We're definitely putting out some more content in there. All right, stories from the road. Larry knows stories. Come on, dude.
Hey, yeah,
you need to do some gig work.
I've been doing a little. Yeah, well, now that I got this certification test past me, I have time again because I was devoting every free second to that. For the last couple of weeks. So yeah, school's back in session. So yeah, I'll definitely be back out Thursday night.
This Andrea, she's awesome. She's runs one of the so I created a flex group in Grand Rapids, and then I don't know if she created the other one. Mine gets literally no traffic. I just post my own shit in there. Although I add like people every day because flex, I don't know why, like 2 to 3 people every day. But Andrea's got the main chat room and she does a good job monitoring that and keeping.
Hadn't kicked you out yet?
No, I'm nice.
Oh, okay.
He has moments. He's nice in that one.
Yeah. And then Robert, hello from Seattle. I don't think we have talked to anyone from Seattle. Rideshare sucks. Yeah, rideshare does suck right now. You gotta pick your battles on what you're gonna do.
Most definitely.
So you need to have your portfolio very.
Gabe, why'd you comment Andrea LTNS? What is that?
Long time no see, man. Come on, boomer.
Damn, you are old. What a boomer. So old.
Bro, I've never seen that written like that.
What?
No, I've never. Long time no see. Oh my God.
I used to see her at the old warehouse.
Yeah.
And I moved, so.
Yeah, then you left us.
Yeah.
Gabe, any stories from the road? Anything fun? Any good orders you got?
Tell about the big accident you saw.
Oh yeah, I can talk about that. I was doing
crazy.
Dropped my daughter off at one of her little family club events, and I had like 2 hours to burn. So I was like, I'll do some DoorDash. I don't feel like shopping for somebody. Dropped it off in this nice neighborhood, and I am heading to get back onto the on-ramp to the highway. And where this on-ramp is, there's an off-ramp, there's an entry into a parking lot, and then there's an entry into like a subdivision, like where all the rich people live. So it's a very tight area, and there's this huge curve that comes down into it. And I see this car coming towards me, and its lights are moving so fast. And I'm like, oh, this is not going to be good. I don't know what it was. Something told me it wasn't going to be good. So I start to slow down, and I'm like, no, I pulled all the way over, because that's something else. I got a deer hit me when I was doing an Instacart order beginning of January. Totaled my Jeep, a big buck. So I'm a little paranoid now.
Yeah,
I will say that.
We'll do that,
especially at night. So I stop, and he loses control. He goes off the road. He hits a big pole. The pole's sideways. He takes out a sign, hits like this hill that kind of has snow on it. He goes up. It's like Dukes of Hazzard. He comes up off the ground, lands in the grass, across the sidewalk, in the grass, sideswipes the tree, and then rolls on the sidewalk. And he stops, and I'm like this is me watching, and I'm like, as he goes past me, and he gets out and he's stumbling, and I'm like, I bet you he's intoxicated. There's no reason to be driving that fast at that time. It was like 7 p.m. at night. So I'm watching him. He's stumbling. He reaches in the car and pulls out. It looked like a bottle from how far I was, and I'm like, that would be the last thing that I would worry about is getting a bottle.
Hey,
out
after
of the
that,
car.
man, he needed a drink. I mean, come on.
Probably. So that's why I'm like, oh, he has to be. So I called 911, and I'm explaining to her what happened, and she's like, can you get the license plate? And I'm like, I am so far away. I can't read that. It's dark. So I turn around and I go up, and he's trying to move the car. He's back in his SUV, trying to move the SUV. And I'm like, hey, bud, your tire is completely flat. You're on the rim. You're not going anywhere. So he stops and he's trying to get the door now open. The fender's pushed it. So, you know, that noise it makes. And then finally he gets it open. And I'm like, I pick my phone back up because I put it in my pocket. And I'm like, the license plate is, and I give it to her. And I'm like, he's definitely intoxicated. Like, I go to turn around because she's like, you're good to go. I'm like, okay. I go to turn around. He's gotten back in the car and he's drove the car like towards the road. He's like 15 feet from where he was. And I was just like, you got to be shitting me right now.
Got to get home.
Hey,
no, he didn't, because I went back and parked in the lot. I'm telling you, still no cops. The ambulance, 2 ambulances came, and the fire department came. Still no cops. The fireman's walking, kind of checking out like the area. And I walked up. I'm like, hey, I called. I go, he hit that pole. You see that's leaning? He goes, oh yeah. I go, there's a sign somewhere over there that he took out too. I said, I don't think he should be driving. He's like, oh no, he should not be driving. And I'm like, oh man. But like, what if I wouldn't have distracted him?
Yeah.
Like, I think about that. Would he have went back on the road? And
probably. I mean, he may not
tried,
made a car, but he still could have fucked somebody else up just in this. Even though it was a somewhat disabled car, he still could have caused more issues.
Like the headlight was hanging out, the whole front bumper, part of the hood. It was a mess.
Yeah.
But it just, that was my crazy thing. Other than that, like, I haven't had any crazy customers. Everyone's been pleasant.
Yeah. Before I jump to mine, I just want to jump in the comments because I appreciate comments, people commenting. Bob says, in all EV future, 80% of rider drivers do so on a part-time. How many of them do they think they will line up to buy an EV to continue to do so? And then Robert says, one thing for sure, don't buy extended warranties on cars for rideshare. They will not cover. Yeah, you got to lie about that. I mean, I'm not condoning it, but you just got to say you're not doing gig work with it. Yeah. You know, because I think a lot of those warranties, not even extended or any kind of like, I've heard people, they won't get the loans if they tell them that they're doing gig work with it. Like the bank won't loan them the money.
Right.
Because it appreciates the value so freaking fast.
Yeah, all the miles.
Well, think about when Teslas came out. We all were like, no, who's going to buy a Tesla to do Uber rides? And now look where we're at.
Andrew says, well, I don't have an EV, but I have a hybrid, and part of my calculating the extra cost of it was how much I was saving by all the miles I was driving for gig work. If I didn't live in BFE, I would go on all EV. Yeah, I think EV for gig work is a no-brainer. Now, the only caveat is you have to have a level 2 charger at home. If you don't have a level 2, it's too tough, and it's too time consuming unless you have a Tesla. I mean, Teslas charge fast, but still, the price of some of these chargers now are about equivalent to a tank of gas, you know, to charge it like that. So then it's not worth it. But if you can charge at night, it costs me, if I'm at dead, it costs me $7 to $8 to charge it full.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And so then I'm out the door with a full charge. So I do not recommend it if you don't have a level 2 at home. But if you do, it's a no-brainer, honestly.
When I did the Neuro that I drove, it was about an hour and 20 minutes to charge it. And then it cost anywhere from $16 to $19 because of the time of day. So when you figure that in, I'm losing an hour of work over a little over an hour plus the cost. Like, it would have been faster just to pump some gas. Yeah. And the cost would have been probably a little bit less.
I think when the EVs started really getting popular, you know, and the chargers started going up, they were very fair on the pricing. But now, you know, just like anything, everyone's grabbing at that money, and they're like, oh, all these gig workers are charging at our stations because they don't have level 2s at home. You know,
here's my thing, because, you know, we were talking the other day when it was cold, right? And you were telling me how many miles. Yeah. And then I was looking at some of these cars, and it's like 245 miles is what you get. And I'm just like, me personally, I drive sometimes more than that in a day. So charging at home, and especially where I work and where I live, like, I'd have to drive all the way home to turn around to drive all the way back.
Well, if you were doing the day, you wouldn't charge with a level 2 because it's a slow charger. It takes all night to charge. Yeah. So you would still have to jump on a supercharger. I mean, yeah, I guess if you're driving more than 245 miles a day, I mean, that's a lot of miles.
I've driven more than 245 a lot.
Yeah, when you're doing 12 to 14 hours on rideshare, I mean, yeah, you're going to drive more than that. But I mean, I guess you're right. If you're a grinder, if you're a grinder and you're going to be out there, maybe a hybrid is a better fit because there's not many cars right now that go over 300 miles. And then the winter, you can cut 40% off that.
Yeah, I'd love to have a hybrid Camry.
Yeah, that's the way to go is the hybrid. So
yeah, if I wouldn't buy my vehicles off my parents, that's what I would have bought.
Right. All right, my story. I mean, we're 17 minutes in. We haven't hit the first story. Mine is I got deactivated from Lyft over a couple days ago. So here's the first one.
You're ashamed.
I know. Hi, Jason. This is Grethel from the Lyft and Safety Team. Following up some feedback received about one of your recent rides, the report alleges that you were driving under the influence and driving fast.
Under the influences.
Influences, yeah, and driving fast.
All of them.
So there's that, whatever. So then I got another one from someone else. This one is spelled wrong, and Larry thinks it's a scam, but I think they're just stupid. Why aren't they copy and paste? So following up on some feedback is received one about your recent rides. The report alleges that you're driving under YJE influ. I don't know. It's spelled wrong. So kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And so the kicker is I haven't taken a Lyft ride since April 29 through the May 5th pay period, whatever that is, the last year, obviously not this year. So it's been what, 7 months since I taken a Lyft ride? Yeah.
Did you check the email it was sent from?
I didn't. I should have.
Check the headers, make sure.
But my account was deactivated. I tried as soon as I got it. It was deactivated.
Well, you're on hold.
Well, on hold. Yeah, sorry. On hold. It wasn't deactivated.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't think it's a scam. I think it's legit.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's a scam. I just think it's, customer service agents whose English is not their first language.
But why don't they have a copy and paste? Like, you would think that would be a copy and paste thing, or like a standard, like, you've been driving drunk. So anyways, whatever. I responded to them, hey, I haven't taken a ride, blah, blah, blah. So then I get an email this morning. So there's like, I realize how confusing the situation might be. I'd like to thank you, blah, blah, blah. We take this report seriously. That's all. You're a good rated driver and appreciate your hard work. Now, this is what I thought was interesting. To help us, this is in bold, to help us resolve your case as quickly as possible, please reply to this email with the following text. And in it quotes, it says, I've read and understood our community guidelines, end quote. So it just wanted me to reply, copy and paste that and reply it. And then hour later, I got an email that said I'm back on the road.
I'm sorry you haven't taken a ride in 7 months.
Yeah, but like, it's weird that like reply to the email with the following text. It's like, what am I trying to equate it to? It's like I'm writing. Yeah, well, like I'm writing. Did you guys? Oh, I bet Larry has. I don't know, maybe not Gabe, but did you ever write lines?
Yeah.
School when you got in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, I won't hit little Jimmy in the head. I won't hit little.
Yeah.
It reminds
my mom used to make us. Yeah.
I don't think they do that anymore in schools. And I fucking hated that. And they need to bring it back. They probably consider that corporal punishment or some bullshit.
That's cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah.
We'd have to fill a whole page front and back.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I'd do it on the board.
Your hand would be so cramped. Oh, my God. It'd be so bad.
I remember having to do it on the chalkboard. And
yeah, for sure. So, yeah, apparently so I'm asking you guys, how did that happen? Do you think somebody just went into their old rides and just, like, how does that even happen?
I don't know. It shouldn't happen. It should be like rides that you've taken most recently. Like there should be, especially that they know that people are scammers or trying to get out of things or get credits. You could probably imagine somebody that day was like, fuck, I don't have enough money. I need some credits. Let me just click on a random ride.
Well, that's what it had to be, right? It had to be a random.
And
I got it from two different customer service.
Since you got it from two different people, I think it was a glitch. I think it was something that how they send out these things that don't make any sense. And because since haven't taken a ride in that long, I don't think somebody's opening their app after 8 months and go, I think I'm going to try to get a free ride.
He was drunk. Yeah, I should have reported that
so.
7 months ago.
It's just like the bill I finally got from Chicago for running the tolls.
Yeah,
I got it like 2 months ago, and I went through that toll in June of 2023.
Right.
And big notice on the top of it. First notice.
Yeah.
It's the first time they're sending it to me. Yeah, I think it was just something. I think somehow those got generated, especially when you got it from two different ones. And yeah, I think it was just a mistake.
I appreciate that feedback. I kind of specifically didn't talk about it with y'all too much because I didn't even think about that. I'm like, yeah, I bet it is a glitch because how would somebody do that? But
Instacart had something like that a couple months ago, where it was emailing all of us saying that our receipts, we needed to take better picture of our receipts, like after every shop, like it was glitching.
Oh, God.
And everybody was commenting about how they were getting it.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Yeah. Amazon Flex has glitches like that too, where it's just like you go to take the picture and it freezes up and you got to go back and then take the picture. It's annoying, but
yeah.
All right. Gig economy in the news, what we kind of talked about. I'm going to play this TikTok video and then I'll kind of read the article. This is about a Detroit rapper who no one's ever heard of. Until now, and is suing Lyft for discrimination. So we'll watch this TikTok. Don't click on that, Jason. It won't work. You have to go into your actual system. And oh fuck, is it not in here? Oh no, this might. Okay, this is it. Here we go.
Jib Blanding tells us she was just trying to get to a Detroit Lions watch party this month when her Lyft rolled up.
As I'm walking, I see him like making faces or whatever. I'm like, oh man.
She already knew.
I can fit in this car.
No, believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
Believe me.
He told her there's not enough room in his car.
The kicker part was when he started to talk about his tires. You know, I feel like that was a slap in the face. That was like my tires, you know, like.
The driver said his tires could not handle her weight.
For every big person you turn down because they can't fit in your car?
Yeah, because they need to order the Uber XL.
You know what? I don't never have to order Uber XL.
He apologized, canceled the ride, and left her there. The rapper says she's pretty tough. I get the money and flip it and make some food. Dank DeMoss, as she's known at the mic, is crushed by the whole situation.
I just want them to know, like, it really hurt my feelings.
It looks like Lyft might be hurting pretty soon, too.
I knew it was illegal, and I knew that it was wrong.
Her attorneys, John Marco and Zach Runyon, say weight is a protected characteristic in Michigan by law.
It would be no different than a driver pulling up and saying, you know, I don't want to have black people in my car, or I don't want to have Christians in my car, or Muslims in my car. It's the same. Under the law, it's the same.
The lawsuit is filed. Since she posted the encounter on social media, other full-figured folks have reached out saying the same thing happened to them.
Good. They should sue them. They should. Some of these drivers are just assholes. Like, they feel so entitled. They treat people like garbage. It makes it hard for other independent workers. Like, even like, and I say that across the board through all the platforms. You have these shit people who do shitty things, and it looks bad for the majority.
Well, we're going to disagree, Gabe, because he's an independent contractor, and the only mistake he made
was telling her why. Yeah, he should
just cancel the
just
ride.
drove off. Yeah, just cancel and drive away. Don't do that if you're going to do that, because you definitely throw yourself out there for liability when you do that. And
So someone being overweight is a federally protected.
It said state.
It's a state. It's state protected.
State protected, because she was in Detroit, so it's in our state.
It's in Michigan, yeah.
So I didn't know that.
Yeah, because she's being discriminated against because of her weight.
Gabe, let me ask you a question. She's not going to be able to put a seatbelt on, guaranteed, right? That's not happening.
Okay.
Well, how? I mean, even if you did accept her in the car, she can't be a safe passenger by now. I mean, of course, we know no one puts it on in the back seat anyway, so it's not a big deal. But doesn't that come into play?
Well, isn't it because she's of age? It's nothing to do with the driver. It's to do with the passenger. The passenger gets the ticket if I was to get pulled over.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, there's just, I mean, again, he was a dick for saying that. Like, that was very rude. But I mean, I've rolled up on people with. Now, I don't know if it was a service dog. I'm just throwing it out there. I've rolled up people on dogs, and I just drove by. I was like, no, thank you. Or I rolled up onto a drunk, and I was like, no, thank you. I'm not saying that's the same. I'm just saying he's a dumbass for talking about it, and he should have just canceled and moved on. But we talked about this last week, Gabe. So I'm, you said that you're glad that she's suing. who's responsible for that action? So what we were talking about last week is that, I don't know if you remember that story. The driver took these young girls over state lines, and one of them got, raped, and they trafficked her back, and they're suing Uber. The families are, but is it Uber's fault, or is it the person that broke?
Or who should be held liable?
Who should be held liable?
Well, I would say in that situation, like, I think the situations are different because we know that we're not supposed to take somebody right underage.
Correct.
And if we question it, we're supposed to ask for ID.
Yep.
Or we can cancel, which is way different than this, I'm
just talking about the liability part of it. So, like,
I would say that would be on the driver, your situation, but this situation I think should be on the driver too, which would tighten up Lyft. I think that there should be stricter rules. It just depends. And that's the thing. People can say, well, she should have ordered an XL. Yes, in Detroit, there's XL, but in some cities, there's not XL. You have Uber X, and that's all you have.
I don't even know if she's fitting in that car. Like, I've taken some big people in my Honda, and it's been tight in the back in the Honda. Like, it's been real tight.
Yeah, I've taken some pretty good sized people, and I would not turn somebody down. I would not take them because of their weight. But I tell you what did happen one time when I was in Cincinnati. I'd been up there. Me and my son went to see the Bucks Bengals game a few years ago, and I pulled up to a bar, and there was a lady came out to the car, and she was just a little bit smaller than that lady. And she came out. She said, "Can you wait just a minute? I got to get my sister." And she starts walking back, and her sister is bigger, at least as big as the lady in that video, are bigger, and she's trashed. And the bouncer's trying to help her out, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to, this person's getting out of my car, and I'm not going to hurt my back helping them. And so I ended up just driving away. I didn't say anything. I just cut.
Right. I think the weird thing about him saying the tires, I mean, what are you going, like 2 miles down the road? You're not going down a dirt road. I mean, I don't know. I think the tires things is kind of stupid. If you put 2 or 3 men back there, you're probably at the weight of what she is.
Yeah, so that's not a valid excuse.
And Robert says the driver could have been patient to see if she could fit or not. His attitude was bad. I agree. His
attitude was bad.
That's why I say just fucking roll. Like, don't even get into the confrontation. Now everyone thinks you're a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Oh God. He said that he had a female that was this Christopher Lewis ordered SUV and broke power running boards. I mean, yeah, I don't know. This is not against someone that's overweight. I just want to be clear. I'm not shitting on that person at all. Like, it is what it is. We all got our demons, right? And we all deal with what we got to deal with.
Yep.
I just, I just don't think Lyft is liable personally. I mean, we're independent contractors. Where do you draw the line?
I think that it would prompt certain verbiage.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
For each state, especially that, I think if you came up and if you were a person like he came across, he should have just said, I'm sorry, I'm canceling the ride. And he doesn't have to say why he's canceling the ride. He should have just canceled the ride instead of point blank discriminating against her.
Yeah.
Because we don't know personally.
Just cancel it.
Yeah, he's a dumbass. 100%. He's a dumbass. He just should have rolled on or just said, "Hey, I'm canceling the ride." I mean, I wouldn't even said that. Like,
yeah. I don't think there's any reason to have an interaction if you're going to cancel it.
But I like what you said about the verbiage, because I guarantee in Lyft's verbiage it has nothing to say about someone that might be overweight. I guarantee it. But I bet there will be now.
Yeah.
But who honestly reads the stuff?
Well, that's true. But you'll get these awesome emails that say, we've
the service dog. You got to pick up the service dog. You get those like 4 times a year. It seems like, at least.
Yeah.
About that.
I mean, Christopher says, unfortunately, for being a large person, she ordered a Uber Wave or a wheelchair van. I mean, I think that's a little ridiculous. I think honestly, why the fuck would she want to go into a X anyways? Like if I mean, I order a big one and I'm not even big. I just like more room, or I order a Comfort. I wouldn't, that's kind of on her too, to be like, why do you want to cram yourself into this, whatever? It looked like a Chevy Malibu. I don't know what it was, but.
And was it just my imagination when they were showing that, and they were showing her doing some of her performing? Like one of her parts of the music video was in a courtroom. Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I like that little whatever. I like that rap. And I know they only did it a couple seconds, but I kind of like the beat. So, well, I hope. I hope that I don't know. I don't know what I hope. I hope just like she does get a little bit of money, but like I do hope, like Gabe said, there's a little bit more verbiage and a little bit more training involved in that. But
I hope that some of these companies raise the bar. Like, I get that we are independent contractors, but I feel, I've been doing this almost 9 years.
Yeah.
There are people that make it look bad for other drivers.
Well, it's like that even for school bus drivers. I mean, it's everybody. There's always that one employee or two employees that make it look bad for everyone else.
Yep.
But I just want to say I'm focusing more on the legality of who's responsible, because it's a thing. So
I feel like maybe they might get in trouble for not having it in the verbiage if it's not in the verbiage, especially if it's a state law, right?
Actually, I agree with that. That might be a loophole for them to get in there. Yeah, I agree.
For sure.
Robert says, okay, I'll shut up. He says, what did he say? He used to be, I'm a retired news talk show host, and it's hard for me to shut up. So Carrie says she's encouraging the public abuse of drivers.
I don't see where she was abusive.
She wasn't rude.
No.
She was just like, what? I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, at least in the part of the video we saw.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
Who knows what happened after that?
Well, clearly, most of the time when somebody starts recording, they're like, oh shit, something's going on, and they can feel it building. So that was probably right in the middle of whatever was going on. So, all right, moving on, Larry. Nevada Supreme Court.
Yes. So we discussed this story. I think it was a few months ago that Uber had filed a motion trying to get the Nevada courts to change their laws so that they would cap any contingency fees for lawyers at where a lawyer could get a maximum of 20% of whatever clients recover. And as most of us, have we seen on TV or something, it's usually between like 35 to 40% is what you usually hear.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they're doing this is they're getting so many lawsuits filed against them because of drivers sexually assaulting people. That they're trying, this is a way for them, I think, to try to dissuade lawyers from taking those cases. We talked about that, extensively.
Yeah.
But luckily the Nevada Supreme Court on Monday, they rejected that motion. But they didn't. The reason they said is just because the language was misleading and confusing.
Oh,
which is unfortunate. It doesn't sound like they said, they rejected it just on the basis of it's not a good idea. It sounds like there's some stuff in there that they thought was a little bit, a little bit confusing and not clear. Opponents there a bunch of opponents spoke up about it, including a group of Uber riders who were allegedly sexually assaulted by their drivers. So we're thrilled the Nevada Supreme Court has unanimously rejected Uber's cynical scheme to sidestep accountability for the countless sexual assault cases and other harms that it has enabled under its watch. Let's see. I don't think it says anything about if they've appealed anything yet, but I'm sure they will.
Is that that one that was on TV that was like advertising as a commercial, and it was like if you were a female passenger, and like I know for months it was playing.
I'm not sure.
I think this is just to. I think that was just trying to get people to sue. You know what I mean? I don't think it's related. But my worry on this is they're like, oh, basically, AKA fix your verbiage, and then
right. That's what I'm saying. That's what's kind of concerning about it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, the opponents who tried to block it said that it's misleading to passengers because it does not inform prospective petition signers of any potential effects of the fee cap, making it harder for plaintiffs to find lawyers to handle their cases.
Yeah. Yeah, we
So-
talked about. I remember I actually had a little panic moment, Larry. I'm like, shit, we talked about this, but this is a follow-up because
Yes, this is a follow-up, which we don't do a ton.
well, it's not
But
we don't see
right,
the
we don't
news
see
on
it.
it.
Yeah, because it's buried somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. It's good when we can do a follow-up, especially when it's something that at least right now it's positive that they rejected this. We'll try to keep an eye on it and see if it gets, if they refile it after they change their wording or something like that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully not.
Yeah.
'Cause it
Is
should
that,
your
yeah.
people. I mean that's the thing too. Like again, it goes back to the liability. If you think about it though, like
Yeah.
the driver rapes somebody in the car, is Uber responsible for that? That's probably why. I mean, other than them not wanting to pay, but that's probably what they're betting on, is to be like, well, they're independent contractors, but like at some point we need some sort of guidelines, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is kind of a different independent contractor. It's not as simple as, your home builder and drywaller. Once you start getting people in your car, it's a little
changes. Yeah. It changes things.
But it changes it too, because they carry the insurance and they carry all the stuff. Like,
yeah, that's a good point too.
If
That's
you're
a
an
real
independent, drywaller, you carry your own business license and
true.
your own insurance. So,
Oh, that's a really good point. Yeah. So there's this weird new world we're living in where this gig work is like, hey, we'll give you the insurance, but we're not liable if you run a fucker over. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, oh,
but
man.
they do see, and that's the thing. They do the background checks, right? They do all of these things.
Yeah.
So, like, where does their legality, where does it end?
Right. That's what we were discussing last week. Where does it end? Where is that line? And it's not always clear cut, where that line is at. As far as who's going to be liable for it. And it is saying here that if it would have passed, it would have been the most restrictive cap in the country. Oklahoma and Michigan impose fee caps in all civil cases, but the limits are 50% and 33%.
Okay.
Several other states cap contingency fees in medical malpractice cases, but the lowest limit is New York's, and that's at 30%. So this has been quite a change.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if it's because they have more cases coming out of Nevada.
That's a good point. Why are they fighting it in Nevada, or are they just trying to set a precedent for them? And that's the first state.
There's some reason they chose Nevada. I guarantee it. They didn't just pick it out of a map, but I'm sure there's something about that but we talked about it. Well, let's start here, and then they'll, if they get it past there, then they'll go somewhere else, and just like they're doing with the stuff they did in California and New York City.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Speaking of Las Vegas, I'm excited. On Patrol Live is going to be in Las Vegas. They're starting their new city for.
Is that a police?
It's like cops.
Oh, like cops.
Yeah.
Freaking nerd.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Moving on, Gabe. Speaking of Nashville, where we're going in June, can you talk about this? I did not read it, but the comments saying she's full of shit. So I'm curious.
So she was getting a ride, and she, I guess, noticed that the driver put his shirt up like this. And then she noticed a gas coming out of the middle console. And she said she started feeling like the effects of it. And she looked in the mirror, and he was staring at her with his shirt up over his face. And luckily the door was not locked. So she was able to get out. Which kind of threw me off, because nowadays, like, once you go over 5 miles an hour, your doors automatically lock until you either put the car in park or you hit, that it's unlocked. But she couldn't talk, or, she barely could do it. So, I don't know. It says, all of a sudden my driver puts his sweatshirt up over his nose, and in front of the center console, I just see what looks to be some gas being released. I remember seeing it just out of my peripheral vision, and I look up and I see it, look at the mirror, and he's looking directly at me with his thing over his nose. and immediately felt tingles all through my body. It literally felt like everything was slowing down and she was going to pass out. It was a sweet scent.
Ma'am, that's drugs. That's the tingling you're feeling. You are high on something.
I think she was just had been picked to be a contestant in the Squid Games.
I don't get that joke.
Jason has not. I knew
I've
Jason
never watched
had
a second of that show. I don't even. All I know is they're in Call of Duty. It's a fucking skin, and people are jumping around as Squid Game characters, and I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, this really sounds like a fishy story. I mean, there is no doubt. There's a lot of people get roofied in Nashville.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the bachelorette capital of the United States, right? Has been for the last few years. So there's just the woohoo girls are everywhere, and
I was waiting for it, Larry. I was waiting for him. He's gonna say woohoo girls.
Well, that's what they call them, man. So yeah, I mean, stuff like that happens, but this just doesn't. I mean, this just sounds far-fetched. I'm not saying it didn't happen because I wasn't there and I don't know, but
a police report was filed. And Nashville, the Metro Nashville Police Department confirmed that they are working with Lyft to identify the rideshare driver.
Yeah, that always gets me. They're working with Lyft. That should take like 5 seconds.
Yeah. Especially if he's a legit
actual Lyft driver. Yeah.
Well, and I don't know. She had the license. I wouldn't have ended I would have took a screenshot of the profile. Has the name, the license plate number, the car.
Yeah. I mean, this guy obviously. I mean, if you're smart enough to set up something to spray gas out of your console, wouldn't you be smart enough to put the child locks on the door? So get out?
And wouldn't you be smart enough to put a mask? Wouldn't you be wearing a mask already? Like you're just like, oh, I'm gonna drop this and I'm just gonna pull my shirt up.
Yeah.
No, I think it's bullshit. In fact, when we go down to Nashville, we're gonna throat punch her because she's lying. I'm just kidding. That was a little aggressive.
All right. Okay, when we get in our Lyft and gas starts coming out, I'm gonna remind
you're gonna
you
turn to me and you're like, you see? Now we're gonna die.
That's right. Now we're going on Squid Games.
Oh my gosh! Stop saying Squid Games. I don't know what that means.
I'm trying to muster through it and watch it. It's not my cup of tea, but there's a lot of people that like it.
Is it? It's like Hunger Games, right? Basically.
Yeah. I mean, somewhat
more violent.
Basically, you're playing. These people are in. I'll give you the rundown real quick. Basically, these people who are really in debt, they get a chance to go and win. Like I don't know how much it is in like $5 million or something. But there's also like 500 other contestants, and they play games like red light, green light. But like if you get out, then they kill you. They shoot you.
Oh, okay. So if you screw it up,
at the end there's only one winner. Yeah, there's only one winner in the end. They play all these different games,
and they know that they're getting killed. That they have
not at first.
No. So once they're in, though, like what they can't.
No, once they're in, they give them choices. Sometimes if there more people vote to end the game, they'll end the game. But people are greedy; they want out of debt and they want that money, and so people vote to.
So it's kind of like it's kind of like a horror flick too. Not horror, but like. Scream horror.
No, not really. I mean, it's just a.
I mean, but if they're keeping you in, it's you don't have free will, so it's kind of like a. I don't know. All right, you've kind of piqued my interest. My wife will not watch that. That will be a lone show.
Yeah, watch the first seasons. I didn't like the second season as much.
Okay,
and then if you don't want all the horror and stuff, Mr. Beast did his own version of Squid Games.
Well, I will not be watching that.
Okay.
I don't hate Mr. Beast, but I will not be watching it.
Oh, you're not watching his show?
I've not watched anything
on Prime.
No.
All right.
Awkward moment. Moving on. Larry barking. This needs to be in the training video. I commented on this guy's TikTok. I'm like, we're talking about this on the show because that's how you should take care of dogs.
Yes, this is great. He does. He does exactly what you need to do.
All right, 15 seconds. Here we go.
I mean, see, you know, cats are cool. What? Now watch. Yeah, see, yeah. Oh, God. How do you like it, huh? He just chilling, minding his business, as he should be. Good.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, that dog's being all big and bad up there barking at him. As soon as the guy turns toward him and barks back at him, man, that dog turns tail and he is gone.
Yeah. God, dogs, again, we've talked about, we love them. We want them everywhere, but I don't want them on my delivery route. I just don't. I don't want to fuck with that. And that guy really showed,
I'm fortunate. I've not encountered a dog when I've gotten out of my car. Like before I even get out, like they're right there. And I'm like, yeah, no. Because I remember Pelka, she was doing a flex.
Yeah.
And the dog bit her in the ass.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was turning to walk back. She had dropped the package off, was turning to go back to her car, and the dog came up and nipped her ass, and she jumped and got in her car.
Damn. Yeah. What I worry about too is and this happened to my Pilot, but so far hasn't happened in my new car. Is dogs jumping up with their nails and then just scratching the shit out of the paint. Now my Pilot had already had 260,000, it was like, I mean, the paint was wearing off from the car wash. That's the finish. You know what I mean? So it wasn't that big of a deal, but man, can you imagine having a newer car?
Yeah. Be pissed.
I should have took a picture of it. There was on one of the Amazon groups. I don't think it was like my area. I think it was one of the worldwide ones or whatever. This person was going back and forth or like messaging the customer. They were delivering an Amazon Flex. And they were like, your dog scratched up my car. I tried to call you. I've been trying to text you. Geez. And like they're losing it on the customer.
I mean, again, I comment on some today. Someone talked about how they got stuck delivering for Flex. And they're like, will Amazon cover my tow out?
I saw that.
I commented. I was like, I didn't say, I was just blunt with them. Like, no, you're an independent contractor. Like that is the risk you take. You need to make sure you are careful so you don't get stuck. Or if a dog comes out, I mean, I don't know. Maybe don't drive your brand new car. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd be pissed too. I'd be pissed. But what am I going to do? I mean, what am I going to do? I guess I could sue the homeowner in private. Are you going to fuck around with that in small claims court, like dealing with all that?
You mean they did not pay for your tow when you got stuck in the snow?
Why you bring that up?
That's why.
That was hilarious. He was like, I thought I was on the road. You're in the middle of a fucking field.
I was on a road. I was watching you when I was telling that talking, and I was like, something's cooking. He's ready to say something.
Oh, that was priceless.
But yeah, Uber, Flex will pay for your tow as soon as they fill up your gas and pay for your insurance, right?
Didn't you have to have like 2 tow trucks because one couldn't get to you?
Yeah. So. Now, okay. If you're going to continue the story, I'm going to clarify. It was a road, but there was a road closed sign because the snow was deep enough that it wasn't passable. But Jason driving a Honda Pilot with all-wheel drive. No, 2 tow trucks. Yeah, the first one couldn't get me out. And the second, and then he didn't have a rope long enough.
Oh,
and then, so it got, I was out there for 6 hours, but I tell you what, I finished fucking delivering those packages.
That's right, man.
I remember that day.
Right.
I remember that.
Get the job done no matter what it takes.
Right.
How much overage did they pay you?
Professionals.
They did pay me. That was back when they did pay overages. Oh. They did pay me some. I think it was like an hour, maybe something small. It wasn't huge, but all right. Instacart. Gabe probably sees some of these messages. This guy was just like, it's so weird, this Flex. This guy says, customer, hey, heads up, just my front steps still have ice on them. Driveway is good, but totally fine. If you want to just leave the bags on the bottom of the step to avoid the step slipping, thanks. So exclamation point, thank you. I really appreciate it. Oh, I'm well aware of this address, shopper. She's like, question mark, what does that mean? Shopper, it means I've delivered to this address at least 50 times, which that seems weird. Yeah. That seems like a lot. She's like, I'm not sure what that has to do with me letting you know that there's ice on the steps. I was just trying to make it easier for you. Then the shopper, are you okay? I'm delivering your grocery for you. Not sure why you're being rude.
I'm like, I would have loved if a customer said that.
Yeah, and then
Like,
yeah, and then she's like, "When was I rude? I was giving you a heads up about a potential hazard at my door, and your response came off like you have a problem with my address. Just trying to understand why you replied like that. I'm doing my job. Please leave me alone. Thanks." Okay. I mean, is someone pranking us? Because that seems like a very aggressive way to respond.
It does seem very aggressive.
Um,
I would have
the-
been like, "Thank you for the heads up," But I just also wiped out a couple
Yeah,
weeks
you
ago
did.
delivering an Amazon Flex
your
package.
knee probably is still a little cranky.
My
right
knee's
now.
got a huge scab on it, and my back and hip still hurt.
Oh, someone
Yeah.
wrote 100% that dude is not mentally ill. And then the next comment, no one doing Instacart is mentally well. Gigawork will drive you crazy.
It can.
It can.
And then someone's like, I drive rideshare. I'm mentally well. At least I like to think I am.
Yeah. Keep on thinking that.
Yeah. Oh my God. So bad.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't understand that guy. And has he really delivered to that lady's house? I'm assuming it's late. I didn't even see who.
I've had customers I deliver 2-3 times a week too.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, there's some customers because on Instacart it'll tell you how many shops that they've had or how many
Yeah.
orders, and there's like 675, and I'm like,
Wow.
I mean, if you think
Wow.
about it, like, but you wonder if they're like, what's the minimum for Instacart that you can order to get it delivered? Because there's got to be like what, $35 probably. Because maybe they're not just
No.
doing it once a week.
no, like I've delivered a bottle of booze that cost $10
Really?
to
So-
somebody.
Really?
Huh. Interesting. Yeah. Because
Some of these people, if they pay for the membership, they don't care.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I'm just trying to figure out if they've gotten 700 deliveries, let's say, in the last 2 years. I mean, there's only 52 weeks in a year. You know what I mean? So you're doing more than your weekly groceries.
Yeah.
So unless they're like a business owner or something like that, but oh well. Okay, Gabe, I thought I'd like you to read this one. This is important. Hang on, let
The
me
shipped
find it.
one,
Yeah.
the notes.
Yep.
Yeah, the notes say what apartment number, and then it says, "Don't ring the bell. I'll tip 20 if you only leave one condom in the bag and take the rest." So we all were talking about that. Like, was she trying to set up?
Yeah, her
the person-
boyfriend.
Yeah, and be like, "Caught ya" or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe that she just needed one. I don't know, or they just needed one.
Yeah, or maybe she's like, I only want to bang this guy once tonight. Just
Oh.
leave one. And
Here's a flip. I just thought about it. What if she's cheating and her side pieces over there, they don't have a condom. They need a one and done and get rid of the rest so I don't get caught. I bet you that's what it is. I mean,
that could be true. That could be true.
Nothing surprises me anymore. Like I've seen somewhere somebody posted and it was like, "I don't want you to actually deliver the food. I just want you to roll by and tell me if this car's in the driveway. You can keep
Yeah.
the food."
Yeah.
I've seen that a lot, but the condom one, and again, Faith shared this, so thank you, Faith, for that. I mean, it's not hers, but
Yeah.
well, maybe it is. I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, the one condom, it's I don't know. It's got to be because her side piece.
It's it's such a weird request, right?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you just throw them out, or like I don't know when your
Yeah.
side piece leaves, have him take them.
Yeah, something.
So you got more for the next time.
Yeah. Yeah. There's yeah.
People are fuckers. All right, this next one, it's weird. So I just want to clarify. You see the word follow. I did not follow the Tesla Cybertruck, so I'm not in this group. But it says love asking DoorDash drivers to do random things in the delivery instructions. They normally are desperate for cash and will do anything you ask as long as you tip generously. In the notes, he says, "Can you plug in my Tesla Cybertruck? I forgot to, and it's like 27% battery. We'll add another $1 to
That's not generous.
No, that is not generous.
What the hell?
As long as you tip, yeah, because he does say generous.
Yeah, as long as you tip generously.
That's so mean though. I hate that he said that DoorDashers are desperate. Like, come on, bro. Like, we're people too.
Hey, it says more about him than it does anything else.
Oh, 100%.
So yeah, I mean, if that's how he gets his kicks in life. That's a sad life.
Yeah, but $1.
Yeah. Like you got a Cybertruck. You're gonna give $1 to, I mean, I would pay my kid more to go plug my car in. If I was tired on the couch, I'd be like, I would talk to my daughter. Hey, can you go plug my car in? I'll give you like $5. And she still won't do it though.
I think that also kind of speaks to how people view gig workers.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. I hate that.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of times when I've been driving people talking back and forth, and you can just pick up, you can tell people think, okay, this is all this guy does. He's got nothing going on.
Yeah.
And then, you start getting into more of a conversation and you're like, yeah, I was a computer systems engineer for 24 years. And you can see that surprised look on their face,
Or they go, do you actually make good money doing this?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I say?
Is it worth your time? Well, yeah, if it wasn't,
I'm gonna copy all my 1099s and be like, here's my portfolio.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go. Let's have taped up in the visor and just flip it down.
I always say to them, like, because in rideshare, what's your definition of good money?
Yeah, exactly.
I want to know what their definition is, because if their definition is, $30 an hour, then yeah, there's times where it's definitely $30 an hour.
Sure. Yeah.
But if it's $200K a year, absolutely not. You dumbass. Why would you even think that?
Right.
So yeah, I do. I did. It did kind of make me feel bad because like he's just really shitting on like the DoorDasher. He ain't like, it's like a flex of like he drives a Cybertruck, and I don't know, just piss.
I think the statement is $20 is $20. I don't think there's anything about $1.
Yeah, fair. There is nothing about $1. $20 is $20. I'll plug your Cybertruck in and do a lot more for $20.
Yeah.
Do you ever like, I have never had this happen, but when people ask, will you pick me up cigarettes or like a Mountain Dew? Have you ever done that, or would you do that?
I've done it.
Yeah, you ask for the money up front? Because I would be like, here's my I have both Cash App or Venmo. I'm like, here's my Venmo. Send me $20 and I'll do it.
I've offered before because it was a liquor run, and she added something, and then she wanted to add another bottle, and they have a $50 cap that you can add additional items, and I'm like, I can't add it, because I'm over the $50 limit. She's like, oh, that sucks, and it was bad weather, and I said, and I sent it to her, and I said, well, I've delivered to her before, so I knew who she was, but I was like, I can buy it, and then personally, and then you just have to pay me back when I get there. And she didn't see the message, but she thanked me. She's like, thank you. That was very thoughtful.
Yeah, that is nice. I mean, hey, if you do it and you know that, you know her and she might give you a better tip, I'd fucking do it.
Yeah. Right. I can't remember if I don't think I asked them for front money, but whatever it was, I bought them. I mean, if they didn't pay me, I just wouldn't give it to them.
Yeah. I would never do booze unless Gabe, he had the relationship with her. Or cigarettes, anything that's going to be like, I'm going to get charged with delinquency. Like, I'll pick you up no vape, no Zins, nothing. I'll pick you up a Mountain Dew or a 2-liter of Coke or whatever, but nothing that's going to get me charged. Get me a charge. All right, Larry, let's talk about what we said in the title, and then we'll end this thing and do the Patreon.
What is this? The
CEO of EV Future.
Number 8.
Isn't that your article?
I don't think so. Is it?
Yeah.
I don't have it pulled up. Well, hold on just a second.
That's okay. We've only been doing this for 6 years.
I know it.
We'll give you time.
Thank you.
We'll play songs.
I thought you were going to put that rap back on that had the sick beat.
I kind of like that beat, bro. I might check it out.
There we go.
Feeding the ducks.
I'm ready whenever you are.
Feeding the ducks.
I'm ready.
I know you're ready.
Thirsty goose. Just don't feed the thirsty goose.
I'm feeding it. Just not what he wants to eat. All right, go on. That was a terrible joke.
So it says Uber CEO still sees an all EV future, but Trump's EV pullback is not good. So talking about a lot of companies have made big commitments to electric vehicles, but some of them have had to pull back. Like Hertz bought what was it, 50,000 electric cars, and then they ended up selling them all.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah, that was not good. But Uber's definitely one of those companies that's committed to running an all-electric ride-hail fleet in the United States and Canada. They've committed to doing that by 2030, which is, that's going to be here before you know it.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, it says at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland, the Uber CEO Dara confirmed that the company is still continuing to lean forward on an all-electric future. Said the average Uber driver is moving to EVs 5 times faster than the average driver, he told the Wall Street Journal columnist. He said that makes a significant climate impact, given that the average Uber driver is driving 5 times the miles of the average driver, which I totally believe that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. He said the company has added its own route planning and charging software for Uber's EV drivers to make gassing up or juicing up on the go a lot easier. He says that from their surveys, the drivers and customers are both very fond of the electric vehicle experience. Says what encourages me, even though the environment is one where automakers are starting to pull back, is that our customers and drivers love the product. So since Uber drivers are responsible for their gas costs, car repair, and maintenance costs, EVs' lower overall running costs are helping them to save some money. Yeah. So he said that, back in 2022, he stated that any Uber driver who's operating a gas-powered vehicle would not be allowed on the platform by the end of this decade. So,
No way.
5 million drivers worldwide who would need to go electric. Yeah.
I don't think they should do that. I think you're grandfathered in, but if you add a new vehicle, it has to be electric, like whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We'll see. A lot of things can change in 5 years.
Yeah.
A lot of things can change. Who knows? He might not even be there. You get somebody has a completely different game plan,
Yeah.
Because we've seen a lot of car makers and things and rental companies really dialing back on EVs, and I think that's this the administration we have in Washington, it's definitely pushing that way now. The pendulum's kind of swinging back a little bit.
Yeah, he backed off on that though. He's saying a lot of stuff, but it's not going the way he exactly wants. So
yeah, really does.
It rarely does. Doesn't matter who's in office, but
yeah.
I mean, again, I don't understand the comment that it's a good customer experience though. Like, does a customer like get in and go, "Ooh, electric car," or is it just a novelty and that's why they have? I mean, it's the same.
It depends. Depends on where you're at too. I mean, some people it's a novelty. They've probably not had ever ridden an electric car.
Yeah.
Then you get other people who, hey, thank you for driving an electric car and saving the environment.
It would be interesting for them to give stats of like how many people order an Uber X, how many people order an Uber. I think it's green.
I bet we could find that. I bet they have that down.
Yeah, just to see.
Yeah. So also in this article, he does say that I believe that 10 years from now, autonomous software is going to be built into every single car sold. Fast forward 15, 20 years, I think that autonomous driver is going to be a better driver than human drivers. But then he says, as for any Uber drivers worried about losing their jobs, he says, I think over the next 10 years, Uber is a great gig, but after that, it's going to make sense for AV companies to put their robots on the Uber network as well. So he says that doesn't make sense because he said 15, 20 years and the driver is going to be better, but we're going to do it in 10.
Yeah. Well, again, it's a news article. We know what we think about those. They're worth what they're printed on. So
yes, exactly. And most of them aren't even printed.
Yeah,
anymore.
I was gonna say I just aged myself. I said a joke to a couple of the kids. I don't know, maybe not last week because I only worked one day. But what's black and white and red all over?
Newspaper. Didn't get
they
it.
couldn't get it, and that was like a newspaper. They're like, "What's a news?"
Yeah, they have no idea.
Newspaper. Like they kind of knew what it was. Like you could see in their brain that was turning like they had heard that word before, but they didn't quite exactly know what it was. I'm like, oh, sweetheart.
It's like a phone that's attached to the wall. What?
Well, yeah, they say, depending on the age, how do you call somebody? And most people
it's this.
It's this
instead of this.
Not this. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's kind of funny. All right, well, guys, well, thank you so much and gals for listening. Really appreciate it. We'll be on the Patreon in 10 minutes. I haven't scheduled it yet, but love for you to join us on Patreon and a little bit of this, but Larry takes his pants off. So if you want to see that, I don't, but you might. Come on.
What do you mean? I don't have any pants on right now. What do you mean? I'm taking them off on the Patreon.
You can't even tell if we have pants. All right, next show we're doing it pantless. I've already established that. We're not going to show it though. We don't want to get in trouble. But anyways, oh shit, what's our line? Do you remember your part of the line, Gabe? Fuck. Do you remember it, Larry?
No, it's been too long.
You do remember his part?
I think so. I think it's what we came up with.
Well, message him. No, I'm just kidding. Tell him what it is.
Just don't be a dick, right?
Oh yeah, don't be a dick. I should know that.
Right.
So I say, as always, don't put up with anyone's bullshit.
And we'll see you on the road.
No. He's supposed to say, don't be a dick in the middle.
Right. In the middle.
Yeah. Okay. I'll edit this all out.
I can't remember all of it, man. Come on.
Well, I need to write it in here because I have a specific rundown when Gabe's on. So then, okay. We'll pretend this didn't happen.
That's
okay.
Right.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Have a great night. We'll see you next week. And as always, don't put up with anyone's bullshit.
And don't be a dick.
And we'll see you on the road.
There we go. Good night.
That's it right there. Verbal trademark.
I thought